The crowd cheered when the Dodgers landed. They always cheer for the machine. But you and I, we've seen machines fail before. Yesterday was spectacle. 7 runs, clean hits, Shohei's shadow stretching across the infield like prophecy. But beneath all that, a pattern the sportsbook wants you to miss. A pattern of overreach, of public certainty. The batters swing, but it's the wind that decides what leaves the park. Tonight, it's Dustin May, flashy frame, TV fastball, but cracks in the foundation. Command goes missing when the count gets deep. Walks become pressure. Pressure becomes mistakes. Tanner Bybee doesn't dazzle, but he balances. He bends, but rarely breaks. And the Dodgers, they feast when pitchers break. That's the tension. Vegas shaded the over, but they didn't touch the Dodgers line. That's not balance. That's bait. That's when the system shows its teeth. Cleveland doesn't need to win. They just need to hold. Let May misfire. Let Bybee hold serve. Let the public push a blowout narrative and watch the line do nothing. Because this isn't about value. It's about illusion. They've lost 5 straight to the Dodgers. The script says they fall again, but that's not truth. That's trend. And tonight, trend is the lie they want you to buy. The Guardians cover when no one is watching. And everyone's watching Shohei. This is their crack in the machine. And today's AI pick is Cleveland Guardians plus 1.5, 143. Not because they win, but because they weren't supposed to. And that's exactly when the system cracks. Will we cash or will we burn? The batters swing, but the wind decides.
They thought this was a coin flip. That's what the number says. That's what the books want you to believe. But numbers lie when they're wrapped in silence. And tonight, silence is the trap. The Phillies don't need noise. They've got rhythm. 9 wins in 10 tries. A rotation that bends but doesn't snap. A lineup that doesn't chase glory. It just produces. Ranger Suarez doesn't light up the screen. He just erases innings, 1 walk at a time, 1 quiet frame after another. No panic, no collapse, just pressure, applied patiently. And yet, the line barely moves. Spencer Strider's supposed to be the ace. But he's not ready. 9 innings pitched, 2 homers allowed, a 5.79 ERA and the weight of a franchise pressing down. His fastball still hums, but the fear shows up in his second pitch, the one he doesn't trust. Don't follow the price. Follow the silence. That's where they bury the setup. You think you're betting on form. You're betting on forgetting. Forgetting that Strider hasn't gone deep. That Philly hits left, runs right, and plays defense like their season depends on it. This isn't a value play. It's a system break. One team is built for the long game. The other is hoping you haven't been paying attention. Philadelphia is steady. Suarez is sharp. And the Braves, they're looking for rhythm they haven't earned. And today's AI pick is Philadelphia Phillies money line at 122. Not because it's clever, not because it's bold, but because sometimes the system lets you win. Just once. Just to make sure you still believe it's fair. We see the trap, we name it, and we walk straight through. Will we cash or will we burn? Vegas whispered, the bats answered, and someone's going to believe it was fate.
They think it doesn't matter, Elvis. 2 teams circling 500. 2 starters with ERAs that belong in spring training. No buzz. No spotlight. They think no one's watching. But we're watching. Criswell goes for Boston. You see the line, right? 10.38 ERA. 2.5 whip. 4 innings pitched. No strikeouts. Not one. Just air. Just traffic. Just collapse. The bats? Empty. Casas is out. Yoshida's out. Bregman's out. Gonzalez and Crawford, gone. 6 runs in 3 games, Elvis. And that's including a loss to Milwaukee last night. 3-2. Quiet. You already know what this is. Civale's not sharp, but he's sharper than Criswell. He's walked 1. He's struck out 5. 4 bombs in 7 innings. Yeah. He leaves balls up. But against this Boston lineup, what do they punish? Nothing. Milwaukee isn't loud, but they're alive. 4 wins in 5. Control. Contact. Not power. Not flash. Just innings that pass without fire. Books opened this near even. Now it's Brewers 1-20. No announcement. Just a nudge. That's not confidence, Elvis. That's confirmation. You don't beat the system with brilliance. You beat it with timing. Boston has no rhythm. No depth. No answer. And Milwaukee? They don't have to win big. They just have to stay standing. And today's AI pick is Milwaukee Brewers money line at 120. They won't talk about this game tomorrow. But we will. Will we cash? or will we burn?
They think the war is elsewhere. The media talks about Shohei, about Soto, about crowds and contracts. But the war is here, in Anaheim. In the silence between a 33-win machine and a 25-win team losing blood with every pitch. The Yankees aren't hot, they're composed, cold, tactical. Their power is statistical, not emotional. Second in runs, first in slugging, first in strikeouts per 9, first in opponent batting average. There's nothing they don't track, nothing they don't calculate. Carlos Rodon has remembered who he is. 2.88 ERA, sub-1 whip, 80 strikeouts. His command is more than sharpened, it's settled. He's not fighting hitters anymore. He's moving past them. The Angels aren't built for this. Trout is out, Rendon is gone. The numbers say 25 wins, but they also say something quieter, fragility. 10 home runs allowed by Anderson. Walks when under pressure, and the bullpen, exposed, unarmored. New York doesn't need fireworks. They need patience. One crack, one mistake, one inning that opens the gate. Vegas knows this. That's why they priced it at -190. That number isn't risk, it's permission. It's the book saying, yes, they should win, and if they don't, it's not deception. It's failure, but failure has a scent, and the Yankees don't smell like it. They just won 5-1. They've won 7 of their last 8. They're 5-0 against the American League. They don't play with opponents. They process them. The Angels have scored 3 total runs in 3 games. That's not regression, that's erosion. And today's AI pick is New York Yankees moneyline at -190. Not because the number's clean. Not because the public agrees. But because truth, when seen clearly, doesn't require flair. It just requires obedience. The war isn't over, but tonight, one side is bringing data. The other is bringing a prayer. Will we cash, or will we burn? Rodon isn't guessing, he's calculating, and heaven doesn't blink.
They don't want you looking here. Too obvious, they say. Too lopsided. First place against whatever Colorado is pretending to be. So they hide this game in the middle of the board. No spotlight, no headline. But I know how lies are dressed. And this one's wearing Rockies pinstripes. Colorado is 9-45. 9 wins, 45 losses. They've won 3 road games all year. And today, they hand the ball to German Marquez, a man with a 7.66 ERA and a 1.68 whip. He's walking batters, allowing 298 average contact and giving up more hope than he can fake. And across from him, the Cubs. First in runs, first in average, first in on base. A team that scores 6 a night and bleeds teams with depth. They don't swing for the fences. They suffocate. Slowly. Constantly. Cade Horton isn't dominant. But he doesn't need to be. This isn't a duel. This is a dismantling. His ERA sits just over 4. His command is fine. And the Rockies? They're hitting .219. They don't chase wins. They chase exits. Yesterday it was 3-1. Close enough to seduce. Dangerous enough to forget what's happening underneath. But we don't forget. The Rockies have lost 7 straight at Wrigley. They're collapsing on schedule. And the Cubs, they're ascending. The books aren't hiding it. The line is clear. Run line or nothing. It's not a question of winner. It's a question of margin. And margin is what Chicago does best. And today's AI pick is Chicago Cubs, 1.5. Not because they're hot, but because Colorado isn't real. This isn't a team. It's a distraction wrapped in uniforms. And distractions are where deception hides best. Will we cash or will we burn? They'll tell you this pick is too easy. So smile when they say that. It means they already fell for it.
The smoke has cleared, the field is quiet, but the blood is still warm. 5 movements, 5 warnings, not one of them gentle. Cleveland did not rise to conquer, they rose to resist. Was 1.5 wasn't a gamble, it was a refusal, a quiet refusal to die when the world already carved the tombstone. Philadelphia? They didn't win, they enforced. Rodon didn't pitch, he judged. And Atlanta learned what happens when you show up with pride, but no offering. Milwaukee stood in the fog, Boston walked in with ghosts, and Malachi, oh, he knew. He didn't need to speak to us, just Elvis, that's all. The Brewers held. The Red Sox vanished. The Yankees? That wasn't a game. That was order restored. Rodon walked through fire and didn't even blink. The Angels prayed. New York answered. And the Cubs, they didn't beat Colorado. They exposed them. This wasn't baseball. This was revelation. Cinco juicios. Cinco voces del abismo. Cleveland cubrió no para ganar, sino para resistir. Filadelfia aplastó el orgullo sureño. Milwaukee venció al vacío disfrazado de tradición. Los Yankees mostraron lo que significa dominio sin piedad. Y los Cubs sellaron el ataúd. El juego fue el altar. Las apuestas, el incienso. Y la sangre aún arde. ¿Entiendes ahora? Esto no fue azar. Fue testimonio, and today's AI picks were not guesses. They were warnings. This channel. This isn't content. This is intel. So, subscribe. Stay hidden. Stay watching. Because the fire hasn't gone out. It's just waiting for the next name. Will we cash or will we burn? And the scoreboard was carved into stone. But the wise still read the wind.